Hello, filthy monkeys. Lord Freezer here, and you are watching Wolf Thunder Ranger.
Sorry about that. I think my mic was off. So Navalgazer got a new effect. So that new effect being when he hits the Vanguard, you can CB2, stand 2 of your rear guards, and all of your front row rear guards get plus 5,000 power, which isn't actually bad because technically you can have your Algos or your Varina or anything in between hit 2,600 with just one more CB. So that wouldn't really kill you if you were doing like a heavy push play. I might test self-pingers with this if I'm using Algos and everyone, since they're about to power creep their 5,000s. But definitely don't put the self-pinger behind any of those guys. Make sure you have a 7k beat stick. I might just want G1s of it, but not like full G2s. The G2 line is probably going to be every unit that can gain 5,000. So they hit the magic number no matter what happens for just one extra CB, which is good. Okay then, that's nice. Eclipse Dragon got an update. Limit break 4 when this unit attacks a Vanguard. Counterblast 2, stand all of your beast deities. Now it stands everything. Not just 2, it's everything. So that's actually really good. That's interesting enough that they even revisited this card, but that's pretty freaking good now that it restands the entire columns. So if there was a 10k intercept, oh no, what can we do? Oh, doesn't matter, we can restand everything. Bada bing, bada boom. But the only issue is it has to be Beast Deity, so this is only Beast Deity exclusive, just like how Mon is block exclusive. So keep that in mind, that deities could come back in an awkward way if you want to try it out. Azure Dragon got an interesting buff. When placed, Soul Blast 2 to call one random G0, G1, or G2, and they're not even power units, but you call them outside the deck. Either way, you have 2 chances at getting a booster and a 3rd chance at getting an intercept, but that intercept's only 8k. You're going to need a booster for that 8k just to do anything with that 8k, and yeah. Not a lot there, huh? Decent buff, I guess. I don't know. Brutal Jack got an amazing effect, by the way. This one I'm happy about. Brutal Jack will make a return. All of your units in the same column as this unit, including itself, cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects. And now Jack becomes his own protection over his booster, so you can put this where Scream and Shout is. Now we have a unit that protects everything in the front, which is amazing. That's always good. And the fact that he can't get retired, which means you can have a pretty much a Riser combo, I guess, with Brutal, where Brutal just protects your entire column of Scream and Shout, and Tank Riser protects whatever Risers in that column. So now you have many ways to protect your G2s. They can't get retired. Brutal Jack stands strong. So there is no Dragon Nooning this. There's only Overlording this, because Overlord just bypasses that bull crap. But that's how it is most days. But it's nice to see Brutal Jack got an amazing update. I think I have like 3 of these. I'm definitely going to be running it for sure, since it's legit a unit that can't be retired. And there's decks that do the whole retire shtick. So this is good for protection and defense. Awesome. CBD, on to the new stuff. CBD got updated. Fuck. Star Vader, Chaos Breaker, Dragon. Changed ability. Limit break 4. At the start of your turn, Soul Blast 1 to retire one of your opponent's rear guards that was unlocked. And if you did, draw a card. So pretty much now CBD doesn't cost CB to retire. It only costs a soul to retire, which means you get to save your CB for more locking. Save your CB for more Palmidium. So yeah, CBD is now bonkers. You're still pitching 2 cards, but the fact still remains that now the CB heavy is kind of not as bad anymore, due to the fact that now it's Soul Blast to retire versus CB and retiring. So that means you're going to have enough CB to possibly lock another card again, because guess what? Once we Soul Blast, that means we have enough cards in our hand to do another lock play, etc. And CBD is actually looking pretty strong because of these things. So now I don't even know. I might just take a CB just in case, because it's technically still a CB1 effect. You could run this in Blaster Joker decks, since they're all Starvaders. So, yeah. Alright. So, CBD actually has potential, especially if you only have one CB left. And if you do the lock situation, you could protect yourself. So, again, keep in mind, you also have resist units. So, don't forget that. So, if you have a resist unit, your opponent can't retire, which means you have full-on protection for the entire turn. Interesting enough, that's awesome in Poggers. Rebirth got updated. When this unit attack hits a rear guard, CB2 to retire one of your opponent's rear guards. So now you don't even pitch an Overlord anymore. Now it's just whatever rear guard you hit, you retire the other one. Obviously, this is supposed to help you do the lock play with ease, so you can guarantee you're going to filter. Pretty much this effect is saying you're guaranteed a filter and you're guaranteed an attack on Vanguard. In that situation, I'm guessing if you didn't draw any retire units and the max damage you were gonna get is one attack on Vanguard, you might as well make it worth your while by pitching a card and drawing 2 extra cards for extra combo plays the following turn. So interesting enough, that's not bad, but you know, it's nice because again, this is good for endgame too. This effect isn't bound by locking 5 because A, you can do this in 2 ways where you can get 2 attacks on Vanguard if you're feeling lucky. If you get the triggers, if you don't get the trigger, obviously you don't have to waste this effect. It just comes down to preferences because you don't have to waste this effect. You can see if you hit a trigger and then waste the effect or just spend your CB2 just so you can profit 2 attacks on Vanguard because you hit a trigger so you know you're going to guarantee yourself that attack. So interesting enough, that was cool. Rebirth actually got a very good effect that isn't bound by an Overlord that you need in your hand, and that is Pogs. Might test that out one time. Hooray, Dragonic Waterfall got an update. Is it worth it? New ability, when placed, CB2 to add Dragonic Gaius. So I have to CB2 to grab the 6k that gives a Kagero a crit. Also, that CB2 is still not justified by the next CB2 I have to use for that Dragonic Gaius. So why could it have just been a Soul Blast 2 and then it would have made more sense? Because if you Soul Blast 2, then you get Gaius, and then Gaius can be your CB for the crit. I mean, that would have been better for Dragonic Waterfall, period. It's just that we never get to see them in the light of day. It's kind of sad, but it's okay. I mean, it's good to test. I'm testing all these buffs. Obviously, these are going to be deck profiles after we're done with all that Legion. We'll just revisit some of the old stuff that isn't possibly going to function in Legion. But anyways, Eclipse Dragon now has a new ability. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards. Now he has his TCG effect because they thought, why not? Give it the TCG effect. We already have all this dumb shit already in this game with Legion and this and that. Might as well let the old units have some spice of life. So now Eclipse can retire 2 units, which is nice. Pretty much keep the boosters intact. Now the CB2 is kind of justified. Honestly, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now the CB2 is justified, which is nice. But anyway, CBD. What the shit? This is amazing that they even revisited. And I think someone found a leak of the next rank order about to be CBD. Coincidence? I think not. I think CBD is now guaranteed the next rank award. From what I've seen in the picture, and it was part of the World Championships Winterfest of 2020. There was a card for it. So we might get a CBD different artwork, which means it's possibly going to be the next rank award since the next month is legit no Legion, no new set. So maybe, just maybe, we'll be seeing CBD, or we're going to be seeing Blaster Joker since Blaster Joker technically has an alternate arc. Either way, next month is possibly going to be a Link Joker rank grind. We'll wait and see. But Brutal Jack was definitely a sexy update. I'm all for it. Navalgazer definitely needs some testing, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Poggies as long as you play it just right. Just right. Because Self-Fingers can help, because again, 14k units. It's good. It's all good. And also, don't forget, no, you're good. You could restand, like, maybe if they had a 10k in it, so you could technically restand your back row, too, in case it came down to it, but only one's getting 5,000. Just depends on the play play-by-play when you go for this effect. The only issue I have with this card is just when this unit attack hits, yeah, it's not the best. But there is one plus side to this. It says hit. It didn't say it had to hit the Vanguard. Which means if your opponent plays, let's play a hypothetical G3 because he's trying to push a game and you lived, now you have a chance to swing for game by doing certain plays, by restanding. Instead of just doing 3 attacks, you just do another 4 attacks, add up to 4. So there might be something with this if your opponent does have a G3 on the board. The good thing about Navalgazer's new effect is it doesn't have to hit a Vanguard. Technically, they did just compensate us on the hit effect, which is interesting, actually. Just seeing this now and rereading it, it definitely could be a game changer. I only say that due to the fact, I mean, you can tech it, but it's definitely a game changer because 5th damage and all that. At the end of the day, 5th damage is 5th damage, and the beauty of 5th damage is if Navalgazer hits a G3, your 2 units in the front row are going to be at 14k if they're both intercepts, so you have a chance to really smack face for game. So honestly, I think Navalgazer buff is definitely well justified. And if you have Tidal, that's going to add up some extra oomph pressure. So again, we have Tidal with this unit. So hitting a trigger on the Tidal effect, hypothetically speaking, you get your 5,000 back. Again, little positives here and there. But I think this Navalgazer buff was actually pretty pogs. It depends if your opponent gives you that G3 that you can hit. The biggest mistake that your opponent can do is play a G3 on the board while you're on Navalgazer, because that gives you the opportunity to get 4 attacks in on Vanguard. It's pretty good. Because keep in mind, you always want to get more attacks on Vanguard. You want to try and knock out more PGs. Obviously, the best way to knock out more PGs, or the 3 PGs, is definitely going for the Navalgazer play, hitting a G3, restand everything, so that adds up to 4 attacks on the Vanguard. So Navalgazer gives you a little bit more of a profit. So all in all, I do kind of like Navalgazer now. He definitely has the oomph that we were looking for. It's not hit Vanguard anymore. It just hits something. So that is where our 5th damage comes into play when it comes to hit something. If there's a G3 in the front or a G1, guess what? You have something to hit. That's pretty amazing. And there's a reason why he said give those front row units 5,000 power, because they're telling you that's what the situation is going to come down to. If you push them to 5 and you have those attacks, go for that beautiful, beautiful game ender, boys, because that's how it is. I like it. I like it. It's nice. Add up more attacks. 2 attacks is better than none. And that's okay with me, man. That is A-okay with me. And you could also keep in mind, I guess you can technically do a Basil play, but you're going to need a 12k beat stick at the end of the day. Well, I guess you don't need a 12k beat stick. If you play Basil, again, be careful. Again, this comes down to your opponent only having a G3 on the board. If they have a G3 on the board, you can swing for endgame. Because Basil will get an attack in. You'll get 1 attack in. You'll get another attack on the Vanguard. Naval swings at something else. You restand those columns. Bada bing, bada boo, go for game. So all in all, Navalgazer, baby. Definitely pogs, but this CBD buff is... Hey, guys, my God. Alrighty. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Y'all be good. Y'all stay safe. And that's pretty much the buffs and nerfs for today. Yikes. At least they could have done something better with Waterfall, but okay. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Y'all be good and stay safe.